Hey, Chris.
1%'s a lot.
If you're out there, let's meet. We'll do a show. And I will get you to fire that advisor and save your 1% a year. It'll lead to millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars extra, tens of millions of extra in your lifetime by doing that. All right, guys. We had something exciting happen to us last week. I was recording a video, and all of a sudden I see out of the corner of my eye, Nick, what do we call him, Nick? Our assistant producer, whatever he is. Nick got like startled, and he was just like looking at me. And the reason being is, he said, Paul, guess who follows us on YouTube? I said, who? He goes, Chris Distefano. Now, if you don't know who Chris Distefano is, there are like literally 2 or 3 comedians I follow. He's one of them. I love this guy.
There's 2 I follow.
What was that?
There's 2 I follow,
and he's one of them.
One of the 2.
He came to Cleveland a few months ago. We went and saw it. I think he's hilarious. I saw this bit he did about 9/11 and his story about 9/11 back in the day. He did it on 9/11 in New York at a Comedy Cellar. And I watch it. I've literally watched, there was like a time, like 3 weeks, I watched it every single day. And I watch it at least once every week or 2. I love it. So of course, I email them. I call his manager. Because now he's talking about money. He's talking about investing, and he follows us. Now, I don't know. Listen, he could be one of those things. I don't think he's just randomly following. If he is, okay. But if anybody knows him, we would love to have him on the show because I think he's absolutely the funniest guy in the world. I mean, he's literally hilarious. Him and Bill Burr are like the bee's knees to me, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna do a reaction video to Chrissy Chaos, his podcast. He's talking about money and investing in finance, and we're going to check it out. I've only seen like a minute of this.
I haven't seen any of it.
You haven't seen any of it?
Nope. Great.
We like to do reaction videos because we like to get people's opinions. I really hope I don't want to punch Chris after this because I think he's hilarious. Plus, he's on steroids. It's funny. I wrote the email. I'm like, listen, every comedian, every famous person in the world here I'm a big fan. I can't stand it when people say that to famous people. Like, hey, I'm a huge fan. It's like, no, you're not. But literally, when Lisa and I ask each other we want hummus, whoever asks, the other person goes, not today. Not today. Literally, my fiance will say, not today.
Skit.
What was that?
You got to watch the 9/11 skit if you haven't.
So let's put the link of the 9/11 one. We'll drop the link in there. Please watch our video first and then watch the 9/11 thing. It starts out a little slow, but his storytelling is incredible. So, guys, we're going to check out this Chris Distefano and his... I love him. Chrissy Chaos. So let's check this out.
We've been saying that we're going to do Chris's Finance Corner on at patreon.com/ChristyComedy, and I just continuously do it for free on YouTube because I'm bad at finance. But you can go to patreon.com/ChristyComedy for hours and hours and hours worth of footage that you can only see there, and it's fun, and we're going to think of new, exciting ways to get that shit pumping. Although Nimesh Patel did say before the camera started rolling that why are we not okay with things not always getting better and things just being level? Why does that upset us?
You know what's funny about that? I've noticed he has a thing on Instagram where he calls it like Chrissy Confucius, when he talks about things like this. Like, I used to be obsessed with grow. Now I'm like, no, I just want to grow the things I grow in a reasonable rate. I want to enjoy the process. So that's a really good question he's asking to start.
Just talking about like growth in general is the mentality that we have in capitalism and this I like capitalism. Let's clear that up before.
He's not a commie.
I've benefited from capitalism. I see
not a commie.
The value in it, but what bothers me is that we're always chasing like growth. Like if Netflix
100%.
had stopped chasing growth, like chasing subscriber growth, and instead like refocus some of the energy on making better content or not.
Right.
What would happen then, Mo, if that happened?
I think people would still go to Netflix because
but what happened to the stock price?
Oh, it would plummet.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. When he's saying like that's the issue.
That is it. You have to grow. You have to look busy. You have to be busy. And
that's why Berkshire Hathaway has done such a great job because they're just like, listen, the businesses are going to do what they're going to do, and we incentivize people to do better, whatever way they see fit.
This is why AT&T's in the situation that they are, because they have to go do acquisitions to look like they're making a huge difference.
Grow, as opposed to grow smart,
right?
Or not grow. Sometimes not grow. Sometimes closing the business down and distributing the money to shareholders is the best thing to do.
Sometimes not allocating capital is the best decision you can make.
Find me a CEO who's willing to do that.
Can't.
Or Warren Buffett.
Small businesses, maybe.
Warren Buffett would.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going.
Like whatever it is, they probably wouldn't be in the position they're in today, which is bleeding subscribers.
She's not giving me a special.
Right. Shout out Netflix and HBO for saying no again.
Yes, bastards. That's why your special is on YouTube right now. What's it called?
Lucky Lefty, or I lost my right nut, and all
Damn,
that
that
was
sucks.
a stupid special.
He said in Cleveland.
That's the whole title.
He was
I
gonna.
love.
So when we went to his show, he said that he was gonna have a Netflix special that he was recording in Cleveland.
So I don't remember him
You don't
saying
remember
that.
that? I remember
No.
that distinctly, and I was like 100% we're coming back to that one next year.
I just wonder if he says that to every single crowd he's in front of.
Maybe, but yeah, that would have been awesome. Although they said no. So.
He's in Bentonville, Arkansas, and says, "Hey, I'm doing a Netflix special. I'm doing it here in Bentonville." Okay, let's keep going.
I love your promos for it have been like pictures of you as a kid being like, he knew. I like it. This kid knew what was coming. I like it.
Thank you very much. man.
But that's an interesting concept you bring up about growth. But
like when is enough for you, right? Like
This will be good.
Don't want to say how much money is enough for you, but that's effectively what I'm asking, right? It's
Right.
like, at what point are you like, okay, I've hit the number where after this, like, I don't need to chase anything. I'm going to be happy with this number,
Right.
Because I think a lot of in general, our unhappiness comes from being like, I should be doing better. I should be doing more, and there's.
I'd argue all of our unhappiness comes from that. Mm-hmm. Like I think about it to myself, like, when I find it's just like it's wanting more of something, whether it's, material or whether it's, emotional. It's always wanting something. Like, Michael Moskal calls it the if onlys. If only I had this, life would be better. And that's why I always tell people,
and
I'm
then
like,
you get that, and then there's a new if only.
yeah, because how much better is my life today than it was 10 years ago financially? Of course, it's way better, but I still have issues. So then it becomes like, well, what if, what if I'm in this relationship? What if I'm in that relationship? What if it's just like, if I have kids, like for people out there who want kids real bad, like, oh, if I have kids, my life will be so much better. It's like, okay, maybe. But I think the whole idea here is you just got to stop at some point and say, I got to enjoy today, right? So let's see what he says.
Nothing wrong with that pursuit of doing better, but like, you
So
got to
for-
be happy with where you're at too.
So for me, I'll be open and honest about it. With growth, for me, the number is specific because I think about how I can live. We've been talking a lot about investing and investments and how the money that we're making now as young people, or the people who are like under 40 out there, even if you're over 40, whatever, how you're making your money work for you now so you can live off it later.
Yeah.
So that's what I think about is that number for me is, and that's why, working hard. For me, it's like I would like to see, because, I got a bigger family, whatever, I would like to see, get to a place, keep pumping, keep grinding, and, some people may be like, that can't happen, or some people be like, that can happen in a year. Well, it doesn't matter because everything, life is minute to minute. But for me, it's $10 million. If I could get $10 million.
I'm surprised by that.
I am too.
What would you have thought the number to be?
50?
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I thought he has 10 million now.
Yeah.
Maybe he does.
Maybe he does, but I would think that it would be 50.
Yeah.
I do think that once he hits 10 million, the number will change.
Maybe.
That's what I think.
You might be right. It all depends on where he is emotionally. Remember, just because you want to hit something, the question is, do you feel like a complete utter failure if you don't hit that goal? Warren Buffett seems very satisfied with his life, whether he has 100 billion or 50 billion or 10 billion or 3 billion, right?
Yeah.
He still wants to make more money, though.
Right,
Doesn't stop him from making more money. And I think that's the big key here is like, once Chris Distefano hits his 10 million number, he's not going to all of a sudden stop. He'll just be like, listen, now I don't have to
Maybe
now
it's not the grind anymore, the hustle.
look at me. I stepped down as CEO. When I started to really understand that I wanted to enjoy life and do the things I want to do, and I had more money than I needed, does that mean I stopped? I still charge for our software here. Why? Because I still want to make money. I still want it to be worth my time, but now I say no to more things. Now I say no to 98% of things when before it was probably I said no to 80% of things, right? So I think his thing is like, I want to be able to take care of my family, blah, blah, blah. And because I'm quite sure if Netflix offered him a 5-show special for $100 million, he ain't saying no, no, I just need 10.
Right.
He's still going to say yes,
Right.
but the point is, does he think he needs that in order to be happier? That's the question. All right, here's another portion of the video a little bit later.
Like billions of dollars.
Yeah, those are. See, here's the thing, though. Let me just be clear when we read these business decisions. These are amazing, and we should all look at these stuff. But you have to understand, a lot of these people, they're like the 1%.
Yeah.
Or they're the 1 in 100,000 that it worked for. So just read.
So what's he talking about here? He's talking about something very, very important, because I used to fall for the same trap that he is not falling for. What do Bill Gates, Michael Dell, and Mark Zuckerberg have in common?
Tech.
Tech. They all dropped out of college.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
So somebody here and be like, listen, I need to drop out of college because look at those three guys.
Yeah.
Well,
but look at the
that's selection bias.
tons of people that did drop out of college and they're in a terrible situation.
And that's the selection bias
Or,
issue.
I shouldn't say terrible situation, not billionaires.
Correct. And that's the issue that you don't hear about the thousands and thousands. For every one that made it, how many hundreds of thousands didn't make it when they did the exact same thing? And that's the big, big thing that he's talking about here. So let's see what he has to say.
Really look at, like Warren Buffett says, Warren Buffett will not invest in a business unless he understands it inside and out.
Surprised you said Warren Buffett.
I want to be clear.
Yeah.
With George Lucas, you got to be in a pretty privileged position to say no to $350,000.
Yes.
And this is not the 1%, like he said. This is I think it's something like 50,000 families in this country make over $5 million a year. Maybe it's 100,000. So I look at that going, if you're talking about billionaires, you're talking about like literally, I think there's only like 800 billionaires in this country.
Yeah.
No, maybe there's more. No, I think it's like 800 billionaires.
I thought it was in the 700s. I'll look it up.
By the way, I was going to say 700s. I think I heard it's like 740, but I think it's probably increased since that. 735. There you go. How long ago was that? 2023.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going.
Live within my means without having to do all this work. Like,
Do you have an advisor?
I do, but I think that
Fire him.
I don't give them all my money because they get 1%. So, and I get it, and I trust them.
I
But
don't
it's
have an
like,
advisor.
lot of
but
bips.
anybody who gets the percentage of your money,
Hey, Chris.
1%'s a lot.
If you're out there, let's meet. We'll do a show, and I will get you to fire that advisor and save your 1% a year. It'll lead to millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars extra, tens of millions of extra in your lifetime by doing that.
And we'll show you in retirement calculator
Yes.
what that equates to. Because 1% sounds like nothing right now. It's a huge
But
number.
when you have $10 million, it's gonna be $100,000.
Especially when you have the earning potential you have and you're 38 years old.
Yeah.
is inevitably, it doesn't matter if you're a good or bad guy, they're going to think about them first. It's human. I understand it's capitalism. I support it.
He gets it.
What I've been trying to do is give right now, as I don't know, let them take their 1% commission and do what they do. They are experts, certainly.
No, they're not.
They know a lot more knowledgeable than me. But to hold back a certain amount of money that I would have given to them to see what I can do by myself. See, and then try to learn as much as I can. That's been my plan. So far, it hasn't worked, but that's been
Listen.
Some of the wisest shit I've seen happen is like athletes will start like an investment club.
Yes,
Like
Tiki Barber did that.
Like one of my closest friends is a big finance guy. Like even when he like right after graduation, like him and his like people of his ilk who had the money and like would get like investment banking bonuses, they would put that money like they're like, we're 5 very smart guys. We have networks. We can look for opportunities.
Yeah, but intelligence doesn't matter. It's emotional fortitude that matters. That's the big thing.
I'm listening to him and I'm like, yeah, for a guy that says he doesn't really know a lot, you're saying a lot of things that are like, there's some potential there.
Yeah, of course.
You know what you're
No, we
doing.
don't know his emotional abilities. Like maybe he's just a train wreck and
Maybe.
cries if he loses $1. You know what I mean? Who knows?
Maybe.
Who knows?
Opportunities, and one of us or two of us will do the due diligence and put this money to work.
Right.
And like that was the ticket for them early on. Now they have like hotels and fucking houses in the Hamptons and shit like that.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that they have good investments. Like you can still have all that stuff and not be a good investment, right? That's the big thing. One of the biggest, guys in real estate in Cleveland had the most foreclosures, and he was I called it a house of cards. And the guy, 65, 7 years old, and I've been told by bankers who know him personally, like, Paul, the guy's worth like $3 or $4 million. That's it. But he's had hundreds of millions of dollars in real estate. Why? He did deals.
Yeah.
He did a lot of deals. That's the thing. Like I always see when people say like, oh, but they must be doing something right. I'm like, maybe. Bernie Madoff must have been doing something right. No, he was a scam.
Bernie
That's an
looked really
extreme.
good.
I get that. What was that?
Bernie looked really good for a long time.
That's an extreme.
It is, of course, but
I get it.
you have to use those examples to
There are
show.
varying levels. We've known several people who should put a show on as being very, very wealthy, and then all of a sudden the curtain gets revealed. You're like, holy shit, they got nothing. All right, guys. So again, if you happen to know Chris Distefano, tell him this short guy wants to talk to you.
Or Chris, if you watch this, come and join us.
Yes, thank you very much, guys. Yeah, we like what we see so far. We'd love to be able to, and I'm glad he's getting involved with that. I hope he sticks with it, even the market being down 50% at some point. I hope he still sticks with that because it's very hard to do that. Thank you very much for your time.